which ended really good for us. And I think only that game created a big euphoria. And he played he all his fame, and he's well respected for his playing career. He played for the former Yugoslavia and French side, Olympique Marseille. His role is very important in national team because that I expect that after this World Cup, some big clubs are going to try to sign him.
Both of the Milinkovic Savic's, Terzic, Kostic, Juricic, Radoncic, Lukic, and of course Vlahovic, this national team is giving Italy some representation in this year's tournament at least. All those names added to with both the experience and quality from Mitro and Dusan Tadic. This is a team that other nations should be very scared of. In a group with Brazil, Switzerland, and Cameroon, this could be one of the tightest groups going and one of the hardest to predict. Here to talk all things Serbian football with me is journalist, podcaster, and tactical analyst Marko Ivancevic. Welcome to the show, Marko. How are you?
Thank you for inviting me. I'm great. I love to talk about football, so only that, and that makes me feel great.
Nice. That's what we do best here, I like to think, is talk about football. And Serbia is a team that people, I think, are getting quite excited about, right? It was an incredible qualification process. Talk us through that group and just how Serbia did so well to qualify.
Yeah. We qualified for Qatar with being first in our qualifying group. That group includes Portugal, Luxembourg, Republic of Ireland, and Azerbaijan, I think. Top scorer Alexander Mitrovic scored 8 goals. He was top scorer from, I think, the whole qualification system, and I think that's the reason why we are on World Cup. But the key moment was definitely the last game in the group against Portugal in Lisbon. We won that 2-1 with last minute goal scored by Alexander Mitrovic. It was really intense. It started really bad for us since Portugal get an early lead, but with the last minute goal by Mitro and everything that happened that night in Lisbon, it was kind of a roller coaster for us, which ended really good for us. And I think only that game created a big euphoria in Serbia, and that's how we played after that in UEFA Nations League. All of that was a result of that one game in Portugal.
Nice. Yeah, I know it was like getting there ahead of Portugal. One, I love to see Ronaldo upset. I really enjoy that. And I love to see Mitrovic happy. I absolutely love Alexander Mitrovic. And I really like this Serbian team. What type of football would you say they play? Are they an exciting team to watch?
Well, yes, they play a really direct style of football, offensive. Every ball is going forward. Every time a midfielder gets the ball, the first thing on his head is just to go forward and forward. So when you have a players like Sergej Milinkovic-Savic or Dusan Tadic, and when they create your game, when they organize everything, when they schedule your players, and it's going to be well. When you on that add really fast players, which Serbia didn't really have back in the days, like Radonic, Živkovic, you had a full package, and you have Mitro and Dusan Vlahovic at top. No bother words to say anymore. When Luka Jovic is on substitutes, it's a really great team.
Yeah, I think it's insane that you've got Mitrovic and Vlahovic. We're going to get onto it, but it genuinely blows my mind. But the manager as well, the man in charge, you have Dragan Stojkovic. He took over in 2021, so he's kind of fairly new to the job. Has he brought in his own identity to the team? How do people in Serbia feel about the job he's doing?
Yeah, well, Dragan Stojkovic Pixie is new in the business, but only for Europe. Uh,
Hmm.
he's kind of a legend in Serbia. Most of his manager career he spent in China,
Hmm.
and this is his first job in Europe, I think, as a coach, or maybe not, but I think it is.
Hmm.
Um he's a legend. He played he all his fame, and he's well respected for his playing career. He played for the former Yugoslavia and the French side, Olympique Marseille. His role is very, very important in national team because from the first day he stepped up, he united not only national team but the whole nation. Everyone, you felt in the air that something good is going to happen, and he really, he really gets everything that this team can do. Uh, Serbia national team had bad results previously because mostly of poor choices of coaches. For example, Mladen Krstajic, Ljubiša Tumbakovic, Dik
Hmm.
Advokat. I think that not only players were bad in that time, but there's no team spirit, and now
Hmm.
there is. So you can understand why we have really high expectations from our national team with such a legend like Pixie being the man in charge.
Nice. And what would you say his philosophy towards football is? What would you say his ideas are?
Yeah, he's the man. He who won't take any bad results as a normal. He always wants to win. He always needs to win. He has goals and wins in his blood, and is really, really, really great motivator and coach.
Wow, it seems like you really like him. I think this is the most I've heard a fan like their manager. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
So
it's interesting. Besides all that great players Serbia now
mhm.
have, and they are like in top form. Our star is coach.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's an exciting time to be a Serbia fan, I think. Now, with that squad, which players are you most looking forward to seeing? And will there be some surprises, some players that we will discover?
Well, I think it's a really interesting squad. Of course, Alexander Mitrovic is in top form in England,
Hmm.
in top form in national team. So our expectations from him are really big. Also, Dusan Tadic is team leader and captain of national team. Lately in Ajax, he's playing out of his position, but I
Hmm.
don't think that will affect on him badly. So I expect a lot of him, of course. Missing, I can't talk about Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, Dusan Vlahovic, but they are our superstars. There's no need to
Yeah.
talk about them. So I'm going to tell you about Strahinja Pavlovic. He is
Nice.
young and very, very talented central back. He plays in Red Bull Salzburg. So I mean, a lot of well-known players came from
Hmm.
Red Bull Salzburg. So I expect really, really a lot of him, and that I expect that after this World Cup, some big clubs are going to try to sign him. To that list, I would like to add. I know you know him, Ivan Ilic from Verona. He's
Yes.
not going to, yeah, he's not going to be in starting 11 probably, but his match against Norway in Oslo in League of Nations was really impressive, and the way he play in Verona, I think there's such a potential in him, and it's going to be a big, big, big story. Maybe not in this World Cup, but definitely in future.
Very nice. I like that we've got a few names to look out for, but I'm just going to very quickly ask you about how do you solve a problem, if you want to call it like that, with having Vlahovic and Mitrovic? Like, do you play with two strikers? Do you start with one? How do you kind of keep them both happy?
Yeah, easily two strikers.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
they
Easy
play
job
the
done.
easy
Yeah.
job done. Yeah, that's the philosophy of Dragan Stojkovic. You know, you have two strikers, and they play with three on the back, and
Hmm.
that's opportunity to play with Mitrovic and Vlahovic. You know, you have Jovic on bench. He's not pretty happy.
Yeah. It's incredible. It is honestly incredible. I think it's one of the best front lines in the whole of the tournament. It's insane.
Yeah, I hope
Um,
so.
so, what do you think would make a successful tournament for Serbia? What would keep the fans at home happy?
Well, it's really hard to satisfy our fans,
Okay.
but last time in Russia we ended up third in a group.
Hmm.
Interesting. We ended behind Brazil and Switzerland. So personally, I think that reaching knockout phase will be good achievement for us.
Hmm.
So basically, second place is
Nice.
will be enough. But I hope
It's a
that Serbia
difficult
will go.
group. It's a difficult group. I think it's honestly the closest group in terms of quality. I think.
Yeah, you got like Cameroon in the fourth, and it's not an outsider.
No, they won the AFCON, right? Like they are
Yeah,
a very, very good
the,
team. Yeah.
yeah, they definitely not to just to you know train all team.
Yeah, it's a very, very close group. Nice. So, Marco, before I let you go, I'm going to get some bold predictions from you about the World Cup in general. Which team do you expect to lift the trophy?
Serbia.
Serbia. Yes, I
No,
love it.
no,
I
no,
love the
no, no.
confidence.
Let's be realistic. I hope Serbia, but I would say Brazil.
Nice. Yeah, I think a lot of people are fancying Brazil this year. Who do you think will get top scorer? Who'll get the golden boot?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think a lot of people want me to say Harry Kane, but I'm not
Mhm.
going to do it.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
No,
Don't jinx him.
no,
Don't jinx
no,
him.
no, no, no. Uh, Let it be Neymar.
Neymar. Nice. Who do you think will get player of the tournament?
Proof player of the tournament. That's a tough one. Uh, uh, let's suppose that France go to the final and let it be Kylian Mbappe.
Kylian Mbappe. Nice. Just two more. Which team do you think will be the biggest surprise? Who will be the dark horse of the tournament?
Well, I think we can say Serbia is going to be a dark horse. Yeah,
I think so.
but yeah, but even bigger dark horse or even more surprise, not maybe better results, but more surprise can come from uh, Tunis.
Wow, Tunisia. Nice. I like that outside
Yeah,
shout. I like it. Okay.
yeah, I think they're pretty really interesting. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I like that. I like that. Very nice. And with your head, not your heart, where do you think Serbia will get to in the tournament?
Uh, Quarterfinal.
Whoa, I like it. I like it. Very good. Okay, Marco, for our viewers, where can they find you online if they want to see your work, your podcast, your writing? Where can they find you?
Yeah, they can find me on YouTube canal Meridian Sport BH and Facebook profile Marko Ivancevic, also Meridian Sport BH Facebook profile, LinkedIn Marko Ivancevic awesome, Instagram profile Marko Pezzo, and that's it pretty
That's
much.
it. Beautiful. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Viewers, don't forget to hit like and subscribe underneath to catch the rest of our World Cup preview videos. We are aiming for all 32 countries. Only you'll be able to see if we've done it. So cross your fingers for us and watch the next video. Thank you for joining us, Marco. And we will talk to you during the tournament to catch up on Serbia.